So today I want to talk a little bit about the difference between aversive and positive reinforcement training with a dog. Aversive training would be when we use something that the dog doesn't like to remind the dog that the behavior he just did is not something we want. So for example, if a dog was barking and we used a collar that vibrated and the dog didn't like it, that might tell the dog that barking causes my neck to have this vibrating feel, and I'm going to stop because I don't like that feeling. Positive reinforcement has somewhat the opposite implication. It's when we use something that the dog does like to reinforce a behavior we do want. So if we told the dog to sit and the dog sat, we would give the dog a treat, and the dog would think, oh my goodness, oh, my dog just heard the word treat. Yes. And the dog would think, oh my goodness, if I do that behavior, I'm going to get something good, and that's something I want. We use a marker word or sound to tell our dog the exact instant when our dog has done the thing we would like the dog to do. Some people will use a clicker, and my dog knows that sound, so I'm going to give my dog a treat because even though my dog didn't do a behavior, I've used the marker and my dog is anticipating something. Other people will use a word. I use the word yes, and then I give my dog a treat. Our treats should be something that our dog values, and depending on where our dog is, we might need to have a higher value treat or maybe something less valuable will do for the dog, depending on where we are. So if you're at home in your living room and your dog is comfortable and happy and maybe a little bit bored and you come along to do some training, your dog might be very happy to do anything you want for a bit of kibble. If you're outside in the backyard, you might find that kibble's not going to cut it. There are a lot more interesting things around, and you're going to have to bring on the big guns in order to get your dog to do a bit of work for you. So the treat that you use depends on the environment where you are. Now there are a couple of rules for using this system. One is that you always have to say the marker before you reach for the treat. So it is important that you click and then reach for the treat. So the dog knows that that click is indicating that at that precise moment when that click happened, that's what earned him the treat. The treat follows after the fact. But if you've got your hand hovering in a treat pouch or in your pocket where your treats are stored, your dog is anticipating that at any moment something good might happen, and your dog is not focused at all on the behavior that he's doing. There is a cat, by the way, wandering just a couple of feet away from us, so if my dog notices the cat, don't be surprised. The second thing that we want to remember is that sometimes we will click or say our marker word and then realize, oops, my dog didn't actually do what I wanted in that instant. Or my dog immediately after I said the marker words did something I didn't want my dog to do. It doesn't matter. The moment that two cats now, the moment that my dog hears the marker, the moment I say the marker word or click for my dog, I then must give my dog a treat. If I fail to do that, I undermine the meaning of the marker. So for my dog, I want the marker to mean that you have done the right thing at that very instant, and now the behavior is over. Sometimes I may use a different marker word. I might say, good, meaning, meaning that the behavior you're doing at this moment is perfect. It's what I want, but I want you to keep doing it. I'll give you a treat, but don't stop doing it. Now, our dogs learn these words because we always follow the same patterns. So for right now, there are a couple of things that you want to do. First off, you're going to want to practice your own mechanics. It is so easy to mix up and give the treat or reach for the treat before you've said the marker word. So practice your own mechanics without your dog present. Also, as your dog is still learning about markers, you're going to want to prime the marker. So you're going to want to teach your dog the marker word, and then before you do any kind of exercise with your dog or training with your dog, you're going to want to do 2 or 3 runs with the marker just to remind the dog this is what's going to happen. So what it looks like is this. Red Rover, sit. Yes. And then present the treat. Down. Oops. Red Rover. I've lost his attention for a moment. Just bear with them. Red Rover, down. Yes. And then treat. Red Rover, stand. Yes. Treat. So those are the mechanics of giving the treat. Once you've learned how to use the marker and the treat system, then we can start practicing with a really well-known behavior. What is something that your dog always does? Will your dog always touch your hand when you ask him? Red Rover, touch. Yes. If so, then that's something that you can use to try and reinforce the meaning of the treat, of the marker and the treat. So find a behavior your dog knows and knows well, and then practice using the marker words so that your dog gets used to the marker.